got a great selection of these new Traverses ready for you to take home. And also, we got great discounts on our Silverado trucks. We got the regular cab, crew cab, double cabs, discounted up to $9,000 off. Great selection, Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville, right on I-40.
Everyone, I hope we're all feeling good today. Beautiful Tuesday. Yes, it is me, your host, Joe Berg, back in studio today. I'm here, I'm live, we're ready to have some fun. Talk about all things sports for the next, we're going to call it like 54 minutes. We got some time here, all right? And there's a lot going on in the world of sports. Now, I wasn't here on Friday. I apologize. Or Monday. Actually, yesterday you guys heard from Patrick Reynolds, host of the Home Ad Show. I think he did a pretty good job. Now, I didn't listen personally, but I think he did good. I'm sure he did. But yes, it is me. I am back. I was out of town a little bit up in the New York area. Got to get away from the hurricane, right? No, that's not actually why I was out of town. Went to a nice little concert up there. Saw some family. Had a little family get together. So a lot of fun over the weekend. You know, I was locked in, though, on everything going on in the world of sports. Boy, what a weekend it was, right? I mean, we have baseball, and what did I say on Thursday as we were heading into the final games of the regular season? I said, wouldn't it be awesome if the Mets and the Braves go into this doubleheader on Monday tied in the standings? It was even better than that because the Diamondbacks were in play as well. So on Monday, you had 3 teams fighting for 2 spots, and only 2 of those teams were playing. Saturday, you had plenty of college football, the biggest game of the year so far with Alabama taking on Georgia. What a game that was. I did not see a lot of it, but what I did see, that was a great ending to that one. Georgia with the comeback, Alabama, next play, just stabs them in the back with it. What a game it was. Sunday, you had a full slate of NFL. You had NASCAR, the Cup Series, round 2, race 1 of the playoffs were at Kansas. Pretty good race it was, in my opinion. It's about as good as you can have for not having a photo finish, right? It's just the way the cars are. And then on Friday, if we want to go back even farther, we had a lot of high school football going on. And actually, right now, we are going to start the day talking about high school sports. It is that time of year. We are getting close to the end. I want to give the end of the fall season, I should say. And I know you might be thinking, what? The end of the fall season? Yeah. Volleyball's close to the playoffs. Soccer, close to playoffs. So I do have a few teams that I want to go over with you guys. We're going to do football today. Tomorrow we'll probably dive into soccer, let you know what's going on over there. We haven't really done much soccer commentary for you, so I got to keep you updated. Volleyball, we went over that on Thursday. There's other sports as well that we're going to chat about today, but starting things off in the land of high school football, I want to stay right in this area, right in the backyard of where we're broadcasting right now. Statesville High School, they're coming off of a loss to North Lincoln. It was a 39-14 loss. And then on Friday, they were able to take down East Lincoln 34-21. Statesville High School pushing their schedule to 4-1, or its record, I should say, to 4-1 on the year. Next up on the schedule, a road game against Ford High School. That'll be at 7:30. Looking forward for them. Road game, home game, road game. So they end at Hickory High School. And we've been following Hickory for about 2 years now. 3A state champions last year. Well, guess what? They're starting the year off just as good as they did last year. 4-0 to start Their next game is actually going to be tomorrow, according to the schedule. I believe this is a rainout game that has been made up from Friday. So they got a game Wednesday. It'll be Hickory versus North Lincoln. And then not only that, coming back on Saturday against St. Stephen's. So quick turnaround for Hickory High School football. A game on Wednesday, a game on Saturday. Man, I don't even know if we see that much of a turnaround in the NFL. I don't think we've ever seen anybody play on a Monday and then a Thursday night. But that's pretty much what is going on with Hickory High School. Now, there was a lot that had to happen with the hurricane that came through on Friday. A lot of teams not being able to get their games in. What really wasn't the concern. The concern was the health and safety of everybody in the path of the storm. We know the high country, Boone, Asheville, all those other smaller towns are really struggling right now. So for them, we're not too worried about what's going on in the sports world, just making sure everybody is getting rescued, getting safe over there. And hopefully rebuilding is coming soon for the mountains, the western North Carolina area. But Hickory High School did see some of the effects of Hurricane Helene. As like I said, their game on Friday was canceled. Also, we want to move on to Lake Norman High School. Lake Norman, they played Statesville early in the year, right? And we talked about that game. It was a 4A team versus a 3A team. And the 3A team, Statesville, was able to get the 28-21 win. Now, when we talked to Langston Wirtz, he said that it really doesn't matter all that much anymore, the difference between 3 and 4A. It's very close. It's still surprising when it happens, in my opinion. But ever since that game, Lake Norman has been playing very good football. 3 wins in a row. They're coming off of a 42-2 victory against A.L. Brown. Those 2 points were scored in the second quarter, by the way. Don't know who scored it or how it happened, but a safety in that game, giving Lake Norman the 42-2 victory. Their next game coming up on Friday on the road against West Cabarrus. Now, when we look at those 4A standings, we've been talking about that. Lake Norman 1-0. They won their first conference game, but there is a school ahead of them currently, and that would be Mooresville High School. Mooresville currently 2-0 in conference and 4-1 on the year. The only loss they've suffered was a last-minute loss to Regan High School. They were able to beat Hickory Ridge 56-7 was the final score. It was a home game, so this coming Friday, Mooresville High School taking on Providence. Real quick, I want to jump back to the 3A conference with Statesville and Hickory because we had a lot of teams that were undefeated going in there. Right now, it's very interesting. In the 3A Western Foothill Conference, you have North Lincoln and Hickory, who are 4-0. Statesville is 4-1. North Iredell is 3-2. And East Lincoln is 3-2. Well, the leader right now is North Iredell at 3-2. They're 2-0 in conference. Then you have North Lincoln, Hickory at 1-0. St. Stephen's and Statesville are at 1-1. Ford and West Iredell at 0-1, and then 0-2 is East Lincoln. They've lost their first 2 conference games. Tough start to the conference schedule. We got more sports to go over from the weekend, from last night. An NFL game took place. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot to cover. You're listening to The Scoreboard. We'll be back after this.
More of Sports Director Joe Berg's The Scoreboard is coming up on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, as the final few remnants of Helene move across the area, it's giving us some extra clouds today and the chance for a scattered shower, especially for for the afternoon and evening. Otherwise, we're up to near 80 for the afternoon. Falling back into the mid-60s overnight. By Wednesday, we're going to start kicking off a stretch of drier weather. Just a stray shower possible for Wednesday, but dry weather, plenty of sunshine coming back for the rest of the week and into the weekend. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses like Greystone Lodge in Boone.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Brookdale Village in Huntersville presents their free concert series Live Under the Oaks on Friday. The Village is open all day for shopping and dining, with Ben Gatlin taking the stage powered by Waves Entertainment at 6 p.m. Bring your chairs and enjoy on-site beverages from Red Rocks. Live Under the Oaks with Ben Gatlin kicks off at 6 p.m. Friday. The popular Piedmont Healthcare Friday After 5 concert series offers free entertainment to residents, neighbors, and visitors in downtown Statesville. This Friday, the Megan Doss concert will be held on West Broad Street in front of Mitchell Community College from 6 p.m. to 8:30. Beer, wine, soft drinks, and food will be available for purchase beginning at 5 p.m. Bring your chairs and enjoy a night of music from country singer Megan Doss at Friday After 5 in downtown Statesville. NASCAR returns to Charlotte Motor Speedway for their annual fall weekend in October on the Roval. The Xfinity Series holds the Drive for the Cure 250 on Saturday, October 12th. The Cup Series competes in the Bank of America Roval 400 on Sunday, October 13th. Weekend ticket packages as well as daily tickets are available. Also, check out deals for military service members, college students, suites, the Champions Pavilion, the Indoor Clubhouse, Terrace Box, 4-packs, and more. Don't miss any of the entertainment, including Eli Young Band and Tim Duggar concerts before racing's royalty duels for Roval supremacy. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for information, tickets, and details. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
The Renaissance Festival is back! Saturdays and Sundays, October 5th through November 24th. Eat, drink, be merry at the Renaissance Festival. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com. Don't miss it!
Fernhill Baptist Church is a traditional, fundamental congregation located in Troutman. Hear them Sunday mornings at 8:15 here on WSIC. Listen on demand, WSICFM.com.
The best talk all day long.
WSIC.
Local starts here. Talk sports with Joe Berg. Call 844-STUDIO-4. It's the Scoreboard on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is the second segment here on the Scoreboard. 844-STUDIO-4. That's the phone number if you have something on your mind. I'm here for you. We could chat about anything. We spent the first segment talking about everything going on in the local high school football scene. Some good teams in the area, some really good teams just on the edge of our listening area. Hickory High School and whatnot having a great year. Winning the state championship last year. Reminder, they are a good team. They won it all last year. So you got to keep an eye on them. Got to keep an eye on them. One thing I didn't mention yet is we have Major League Baseball playoffs going on right now. Yes, the playoffs are here, 162 games, and now we got more to play. It's the best of 3 series wild card matchups with the American League and the National League games. You have the Tigers and the Astros in action right now. Do not count out those Detroit Tigers. I don't know what it is about that team, but ever since the end of summer, really, they've been the best team in baseball. And I say it a lot, and I think we talked about it last year with wild card teams and, the Rangers and the Diamondbacks. They were in playoff mode a month before the playoffs started. And you see this in every sport. The wild card teams, the teams that barely scratch their way into the playoffs, they are already in the mentality of, we can't lose. We gotta win. So when you get into the playoffs, you already have that mentality. You're already rolling. And now look at these Detroit Tigers. 9th inning, they are up 3-0 on the Houston Astros. Yes, you heard that correctly. The Detroit Tigers are winning a baseball game. It's not all over yet, though, because right now, Houston has a runner on second and nobody out in the bottom of the 9th. Now, the Astros have won 10 straight postseason openers. That is a Major League Baseball record. Doesn't look like they're going to win this one, but like I said, there's still time left. Update for you, it's now 1st and 3rd with no outs. Oh boy, 9th inning rally. We've seen a 9th inning rally already. We actually saw it on Monday as the Braves and the Mets played for the final spot in the playoffs in the National League. 2 wild card spots were up for grabs. 3 teams were going at it. And let me tell you something. I feel bad for the Diamondbacks. I do. Because the New York Mets, while scoring 8 runs in game number 1 of the doubleheader, scored none in game number 2. The Mets go to the playoffs because they had 2 good innings out of 18. That's not a lie. Game number 1, they go into the top of the 8th inning down 3-0, and the Mets put up a 6 spot. The Braves come back to take the lead at 7-6. Then in the top of the 9th, the Mets score 2 to take the lead, and they end up winning it. Then in game 2, they get shut out. The Mets played 2 good innings of baseball, and those 2 good innings of baseball got them into the playoffs. That's the way it is, it seems. You play 162 games, it comes down to this, and all you need is 2 good innings. That's not bad. So the Mets are in the playoffs. The Braves are in the playoffs for winning the second game of the doubleheader, 3-0, as they put a couple insurance runs up late in that one. The matchups for the Braves and the Mets, well, first of all, they knocked out the Diamondbacks. The situation was if either team swept, the Diamondbacks would be in and the team that got swept was out. But if they split, then the Diamondbacks would be out. They split, the Diamondbacks are out. So the Mets take on not the Padres, actually. The Mets will be taking on the Brewers, and the Braves will be taking on the Padres. Game number 1 of those series is later on tonight. So if you're interested in Major League Baseball playoff action, we got plenty of it for you right now because, man, it's going to be a lot of fun. A fun playoff, in my opinion, especially because we didn't have a single team really come out and say, we are the team to beat this year. Everybody was, for lack of a better word, mediocre. Now, I know you can't be mediocre and win your division, but nobody won 100 games. The league is separated by only a few games top to bottom in the wild card. I mean, everybody is right there. I don't even know if there is a favorite, to be honest with you. I don't. I know who my favorite would be and who I would love to see go win a World Series this year, and that'd be the Detroit Tigers. Wouldn't that be some story? Completely, I think they had a 1% chance of making the playoffs late July, early August. And they just go on a tear. That tear might end. They are currently only up 3-1 in the bottom of the 9th. The winning run is coming up to the plate for the Astros with no outs. Gotta love playoff baseball. You gotta love playoff baseball. There's so much going on in the world of sports. I don't even know if I can get to all of it. I'm probably not going to be able to. So we talked about wild cards, the final 2 games of the regular season for the Mets and the Braves. Let's move on from baseball and get to a little bit of NCAA football. Over the weekend, Alabama played Georgia. They end up with Alabama getting the win in that one. Now, because of that, Alabama actually jumps up to number 1 in the rankings. Yeah, you heard me correctly. So your updated rankings: Alabama number 1, Texas 2, Ohio State 3, Tennessee 4, and Georgia down to 5. Let's round it out real quick for you with Oregon, Penn State, Miami, Missouri, Michigan, USC, Ole Miss. Man, Ole Miss, what was that? Losing to Kentucky. LSU, Notre Dame, Clemson, Iowa State, BYU, and Utah. Man, Utah had a rough game as well. They were looking like a really good team this year. Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Boise State, Louisville, Indiana, Illinois, Texas A&M, and now tied for 25, UNLV. We talked a little bit about UNLV because they had a player transfer out because he was not given his NIL. I believe we talked about that last week. Well, the team's still pretty decent, actually. I'm curious. Navy only received 6 points in the vote. Navy football is doing really good this year, in case you didn't know. Currently undefeated, 4-0, and pretty big wins. They scored 49, 38, 56, and 41 so far this year. Let's see Navy get into the rankings here. That would be awesome. Other things that happened over the weekend, over Saturday in college football, we talked about the big one. Number 1, Alabama. Number 2, Georgia. Or number 4 and number 2 is what it was. Now, Alabama went up really early in this game. 21 unanswered in the first. They go into halftime up 30-7, excuse me. And then Georgia mounts the comeback. They take the lead late, and then Jalen Milroe, to a true freshman, and Ryan Williams, 75 yards. If you look at the win probability numbers of this game, it's pretty funny to look at. At one point, Alabama had a 85% chance to win this game. Now, I know win probability, it's fun to look at. It doesn't mean anything. And then all of a sudden, here comes Georgia. They have a 66% chance to win the game. That didn't end up happening. That's why you really can't look at the win percentage stuff. But Alabama and Georgia, definitely the biggest game of the weekend. You had Texas beating Mississippi State. Arch Manning was getting the start in that one. Big game there because we still haven't seen Quinn Ewers come back yet. I think the thought is he'll be back this weekend, but I wouldn't be surprised if they give him another week or two off, because the team's still winning. Make sure he's healthy, come back strong. Talked about Navy getting a big win. You also had Notre Dame and Louisville, a 16 playing a 15. Notre Dame coming out victorious in that one. And then the Oklahoma State and K-State game. Kansas State with a 42-20 victory. Those are some of the bigger games over the weekend. Obviously, you had Duke playing North Carolina. That was a good one there, with Duke coming out with the 21-20 win, scoring 14 unanswered in the fourth quarter to steal a win away from UNC. Another one where the win probability for North Carolina was like 96%. And then the fourth quarter happened. Duke ends up getting the win and upsetting the Tar Heels. Duke football, 5-0 to start the year. How about it? That might be a team to keep an eye on. We'll see what happens. See if they can get into the rankings first before anything. They're not even getting consideration in the rankings. Coming up on our next commercial break here. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot more to talk about, including playoff baseball, which is still going on. I'll have an update for you when we're back. Don't go anywhere. We're back after this.
Keep it right here. We'll have more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg in just a moment. From 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, as the final few remnants of Helene move across the area, it's giving us some extra clouds today and the chance for a scattered shower, especially for the afternoon and evening. Otherwise, we're up to near 80 for the afternoon. Falling back into the mid-60s overnight. By Wednesday, we're going to start kicking off a stretch of drier weather. Just a stray shower possible for Wednesday, but dry weather, plenty of sunshine coming back for the rest of the week and into the weekend. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
We're at Black Automotive. The Buick Encore GX is now at a low 0.9% for 36 months or a $3,000 rebate. Or the Buick Envista is also 0.9% for 36 months. And there's more here at Black Automotive Statesville.
Have you taken the Desco Challenge? The people have spoken. Desco is where the professional goes for electrical supplies.
Hi, my name is Randy. I'm a general contractor, and I always trust the products at Desco.
See for yourself at DescoInc.com.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Hi, this is Andy with Lake Mountain Coffee, located at 110 West Broad Street in Statesville. Did you know we also own and operate Statesville's first coffee roasting facility? We roast coffee beans for businesses, fundraising events, special occasions such as a wedding. We can even put a custom message on the back of your bags. If you're a company or simply someone with a coffee need, give us a call at 704-252-1886. And remember, if you want fresh, you must go local.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshLawFirm.com.
Are you curious about the new development down the street? Wondering what's going on in your community? I'm Bill Russell, host of Town Talk. Join me each Wednesday afternoon, 4 to 5 p.m. here on WSIC as we chat with elected leaders, town staff, business owners, developers, and nonprofit leaders who are shaping our community. Town Talk, each Wednesday at 4 on WSIC.
Thought-provoking conversations and informed perspectives.
It's meant for everyday people to understand, and you don't have to stress about technical terms and stuff. They just say it like a real person.
WSIC News Talk Now.
I'm Bryce Johnson with this Unpacking It Sports and Faith Minute. Los Angeles Chargers head coach Jim Harbaugh is known for his saying, "Attack each day with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind." It's a great sports saying, but what about us? Do we live with an intensity for anything? Is our greatest form of enthusiasm rooted in Jesus or some other substitute? Is our passion for him contagious? Do others know how much we love Jesus by the way we live our lives and the way we speak about him? As we ponder these questions and reflect on the level of our own enthusiasm, let's be encouraged by these verses. In Romans it says, "Never be lazy, but work hard and serve the Lord enthusiastically." Psalm 37:4 adds, "Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you your heart's desires." In view of God's character and all he's done for us through Jesus, let's attack each day with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. I'm Bryce Johnson, and you can unpack that. For more, go to unpackingit.com.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. The National Retail Federation is among those requesting a quick end to the dock workers' strike. The 36 affected ports have the combined capacity to handle as much as half of all U.S. trade volume. The closures immediately halt container operations and auto shipments. The strike and increased tensions in the Middle East sent stocks lower today. The Dow lost 173 or 0.4%. The S&P was down 54, 0.9%. The Nasdaq lost 279 or 1.5%. Oil surged today due to Iran's attack on Israel. Crude oil futures finished 3% higher. Holiday shopping is expected to be strong this year. A PwC survey finds shoppers are expected to spend 7% more on average than last year. But the survey also includes a warning for retailers, as 85% of consumers are looking to cut back, mostly on non-essentials like eating out and luxury items. I'm Nancy Lyons, Bloomberg Radio.
Now more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Ladies and gentlemen, we may have a situation developing in Major League Baseball. Detroit Tigers up 3-1 over Houston in Houston, but in the bottom of the ninth, we have a bases loaded, 2-out situation. Oh, if you're a Detroit Tigers fan, close your eyes, close your ears. I don't know what to tell you. It's got to be stressful. Game number 1 between the Kansas City Royals and Baltimore Orioles is also being played right now. They are in the bottom of the 6th inning. Kansas City just took the lead in that one in the top of the inning, getting the 1-0 lead. A lot of baseball left to be played, but we are still monitoring Detroit and Houston as that game comes down to the wire. Houston putting on a last chance effort, and it might not be enough. It isn't enough. Jason Hayward, the 9-hole hitter, lines out to the first baseman. And that is it. Your Detroit Tigers are taking game number 1 of this series. Remember, it's a best of 3. Game number 1 is monumentally important in a best of 3 series. And Detroit comes in to Houston on the road and gets the win. Big moment in that series. If you can't tell, that's a very big moment. We have other baseball going on. Like we said, the Royals and the Orioles are in action right now. If you're interested in that one, it's on ESPN. So you can go ahead and get into that, take a look at it, and, baseball. It's playoff baseball. We've spent all summer, going in through the baseball season saying, it only really matters once we get to the playoffs because there's so many games. Well, now we're here. So it matters. It does. We will give you updates if we have any while we're on air here on the Kansas City Royals and Baltimore Orioles game. It is game 1. They are through 6 innings in that one. A lot of baseball left to be played, though. I do want to continue our conversation here. Like I said, we got a lot to cover today. A couple of things. First, we're going to go into the NFL, the weekend that we had, starting with Thursday night, the Giants losing in ugly fashion to the Cowboys. The Cowboys winning in ugly fashion. That was just a terrible Thursday night game, like always. You have the Falcons getting a win over the Saints. The Bengals got their first win of the year against the Carolina Panthers. Now, don't be upset. Don't be sad. Andy Dalton played good. The Bengals are just a good team. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cincinnati Bengals, looking at their schedule here, their upcoming schedule, I wouldn't be surprised if they go on a little bit of a run and win some games. Now, they do have to play the Ravens, which is going to be a tough one. That could be a playoff preview matchup. But then after that, it's Giants and Browns. 2 games that the Bengals should absolutely win. And then an Eagles team that hasn't been all that good. They play the Raiders, the Ravens again, and the Chargers before their bye week. Don't count the Bengals out, man. I know I'm going to say that all year because they were my Super Bowl pick and whatnot, but still. Don't count them out. They got a good team over there. And Joe Burrow is a franchise quarterback. Nobody should be doubting that. I think there's a couple of things that happened this weekend where you just go, wow, really? Like the Bears beat the Rams. Wow, really? The Steelers lost to the Colts after Anthony Richardson gets injured and Joe Flacco comes in. Really? The Broncos beat the Jets and Bo Nix didn't have 100 yards passing. What? Jaden Daniels of the Commanders might be the rookie of the year right now. The early rookie of the year. breaking records for completion percentage for a quarterback in their first 4 games. The Commanders stomped the Cardinals 42-14. Wow. You also had the Ravens beating the Bills. And, you know, you look at that game, it's a Sunday night standalone game, which means all eyes are on the Bills and all eyes are on the Ravens. I had concern for the rest of the league when I heard that the Ravens signed Derrick Henry. Well, he showed us why we should be concerned. 24 carries for 199 yards and a touchdown. If they figure out this two-headed monster of Henry and Jackson in the backfield and Lamar only has to throw it 18 times a game like he did on Sunday night, the Ravens are going to be a problem because Derrick Henry still has a lot in the tank. It's crazy to me that he is the anomaly, but he is. You know, we talk about running backs all the time in the NFL and, oh, is there value in drafting them? Is there value in signing them? Well, every now and then there's a guy that comes out and you're like, yeah, he's worth it. That's Derrick Henry. I still love hearing Jerry Jones talk about how they didn't have enough money to sign Derrick Henry. Oh, man. Zeke Elliott. Yeah, Zeke Elliott is not like Derrick Henry. He's not. He's already worn out. But, man, the Ravens with a 35-10 convincing lead. Now, I will say this. When I was watching that game, I was listening to it. I was on the road. The Bills came out and scored the first points of the second half. And at that point, it was 21-10 after that. And I really thought to myself, I was like, here go the Ravens, blowing yet another game. But then they come right back down the field. They put it in the end zone. And at that point, I said, okay, maybe they're actually going to pull this off. And they kept it together. They stopped the Bills' offense. They did a great job of stopping that offense. Josh Allen, 16 of 29 for 180 yards. The leading rusher for the Bills was James Cook, 9 attempts for 39 yards. The Bills got stopped, and it happens. You know, it's real hard to go undefeated. You're going to lose a game now and then. It happens. Even though the Chiefs won, they didn't look good. Maybe they lose a game this year. Probably. I don't think we're going to see anybody go 17-0. I don't know. Then we had Monday night. Monday night was a real good game between the Lions and the Seahawks. I'm curious what other people think about having 2 games on a Monday night. I personally am torn because I like the fact that there's one game on. We're all going to be watching this game. But then the negative of that is it could be like the Titans and the Dolphins, a 31-12 ball game. The Dolphins are not interesting. The Titans are not interesting. But the Seahawks-Lions saved the night. That was a great game. Now, the Seahawks never really made it to the point where they can actually push and go for the lead or go for the tie. They were playing 2-possession catch-up for most of the second half, but they still made a game out of it. Final score in that one was 42-29. Jared Goff with a performance of a career, going 18 of 18 for 294 yards and 2 touchdowns. And somehow he didn't have a perfect passer rating. How is that even possible? How could you be more perfect than 18 for 18? Do you got to go 20 for 20? He only had to throw the ball 18 times. I don't understand. So don't really look at quarterback rating. But I'm curious what the thought is between people and the dual Monday night games. 844-788-3464. Let me know if you have an opinion on that. We do have to go to our final commercial break of the day on this Tuesday. Don't go anywhere. I will be back. We're going to wrap things up with some NASCAR. It's going to be good. I did get a note here. Yes, don't forget, Matthew Stafford caught a touchdown. I'm sorry, Jared Goff. Matthew Stafford, that's who he got traded for. Jared Goff also caught a touchdown and still didn't have a perfect passer rating. Doesn't make any sense. We'll be back.
Keep it right here. We'll have more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg in just a moment from 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, as the final few remnants of Helene move across the area, it's giving us some extra clouds today and the chance for a scattered shower, especially for the afternoon and evening. Otherwise, we're up to near 80 for the afternoon. Falling back into the mid-60s overnight. By Wednesday, we're going to start kicking off a stretch of drier weather. Just a stray shower possible for Wednesday, but dry weather, plenty of sunshine coming back for the rest of the week and into the weekend. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Brookdale Village in Huntersville presents their free concert series Live Under the Oaks on Friday. The Village is open all day for shopping and dining, with Ben Gatlin taking the stage powered by Waves Entertainment at 6 p.m. Bring your chairs and enjoy on-site beverages from Red Rocks. Live Under the Oaks with Ben Gatlin kicks off at 6 p.m. Friday. The popular Piedmont Healthcare Friday After 5 concert series offers free entertainment to residents, neighbors, and visitors in downtown Statesville. This Friday, the Megan Doss concert will be held on West Broad Street in front of Mitchell Community College from 6 p.m. to 8:30. Beer, wine, soft drinks, and food will be available for purchase beginning at 5 p.m. Bring your chairs and enjoy a night of music from country singer Megan Doss at Friday After 5 in downtown Statesville. NASCAR returns to Charlotte Motor Speedway for their annual fall weekend in October on the Roval. The Xfinity Series holds the Drive for the Cure 250 on Saturday, October 12th. The Cup Series competes in the Bank of America Roval 400 on Sunday, October 13th. Weekend ticket packages as well as daily tickets are available. Also, check out deals for military service members, college students, suites, the Champions Pavilion, the Indoor Clubhouse, Terrace Box, 4-packs, and more. Don't miss any of the entertainment, including Eli Young Band and Tim Duggar concerts before racing's royalty duels for Roval supremacy. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for information, tickets, and details. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
The Renaissance Festival is back Saturdays and Sundays, October 5th through November 24th. Eat, drink, be merry at the Renaissance Festival. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com. Don't miss it!
If you're a builder and you haven't went to Little Shaver's Wood Shop, you're missing all types of lumber products, hard to find woods and paneling materials that are in stock and ready to help you conquer anything the job throws your way. Locally owned, Little Shaver's Wood Shop has a friendly, knowledgeable staff to get you in, out, and on with your day. Little Shaver's Wood Shop, 3301 Salisbury Highway in Statesville. Little Shaver's Wood Shop, LILshavers.com.
It's the Scoreboard with your host, Sports Director Joe Berg on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Final segment on the Scoreboard today. I want to go back real quick to the Monday night game between the Lions and the Seahawks. There was a safety in that game, late in the game. Don't understand what the Lions were doing trying to pass, to be honest with you. It should never have happened. But Jared Goff got called for a safety. And it was interesting because you look at the replay and he's getting tackled in the end zone. He's falling forward. He reaches the ball out across the goal line and to avoid the safety. And then as his body is still coming down, he tucks the ball back in a little bit and it lands on the line, on the goal line. It was ruled a safety. Now, initially, it was ruled down at the 1-inch line or whatever. They go to the 2-minute warning, come back, and the official gets on the loud mic and says, this was a safety. And they had to have the rules analyst come in and explain why it was a safety. And I'm going to be honest, I did not know this. I thought you always got forward progress, meaning if you reach the ball out and then pull it back as you're getting tackled, the forward progress would be where you reach the ball out. That is not the case. And I didn't know this. I thought it was, you have forward progress. It's just a thing they have. Forward progress is only a thing that happens when you are moving backwards. The ball, wherever it was, when you start moving backwards while you're getting tackled, that is where your forward progress is. If you are falling forward and your momentum is taking you forward, it is not where you reach the ball out to. It is where is the ball when you go down. I'm going to be honest, I didn't know that. I thought that because Goff reached across the goal line and as he was getting tackled, tucked it back in so he wouldn't lose the ball, he got it out over the goal line. It's not a safety. But that tuck of the football that he did, which made it land halfway on the line, that's what caused the safety. Okay? And the reason, like I said, is because there was no forward progress given on that play. He was falling forward, so it is where the ball is when you go down. The ball was on the goal line when he was down, so we had a safety. I don't know if I like the ruling. It is the rule, and they got it correct, but I don't know if I'm a fan of the way that it's interpreted there. I don't want to think of it as a safety. Let's think of it in terms of a first down, you know? If you or even going in for a touchdown. I guess that doesn't... The touchdown's a little different because once you break the plane, even if it comes back, it's a touchdown. You just have to touch the front of the goal line for it to be a touchdown. But going in for a first down, you see it a lot where people will reach the ball out and then they'll get tackled and tuck it back in, and the officials will mark it forward progress where they reach the ball. Apparently that's not right. And I prefer it to be where you reach the ball as you're getting tackled rather than, okay, but if you're getting tackled and you tuck it back in and you're not going backwards, it's where the ball is. That's just me. But I do want to explain that to anyone who was confused on the safety. I was at first. I was like, what do you mean? He reached out over the goal line. He did it perfectly. Well, that wasn't the case. So just a little clarification for you on the safety in the Monday Night Football game between the Rams, not the Rams, the Seahawks and the Lions. Getting my Jared Goff and Matthew Staffords mixed up. Let's talk a little NASCAR before we part ways for the evening. Race 1 of round number 2 was at the Kansas Motor Speedway. I do like Kansas. I think it's a fun track. I don't think anything is really all that fun in these next-gen cars. We've seen it time and time again. But this wasn't a terrible race. And we had a non-playoff driver wins. You're always good for one or two of those a playoff. So we had a non-playoff driver win. It was Ross Chastain, who should be in the playoffs. Let's get that cleared up right away. Ross Chastain should be in the playoffs. I think it's time, I really think it's time for NASCAR to get rid of the win and in rule. We had Harrison Burton make the playoffs. We almost had Austin Dillon make the playoffs. You had Joey Logano make it. You had the 99 make it, Suarez, and none of them were in the top 20 in points, even Cindric. But the one car got the win, so good for him getting his first win of the season. There was another situation in this race with, just like Watkins Glen, with the damaged vehicle policy. I hate it. First of all, I hate the damaged vehicle policy. It's absolutely ridiculous. If you can repair the car and get it back out there and make some laps, then go do that. Why are we taking cars off the racetrack? It doesn't make any sense to me. The 4 car of Josh Berry was involved in a lap 1 accident. No fault of his own. He gets tagged in the right rear, spins around. All 4 of his tires are flat. Now, normally in the next-gen car, when all four of your tires are flat, you can't drive the thing because it's beached. You're sitting on the undercarriage of the car. So normally, NASCAR would bring the wrecker to you. They tie you up. They take you back to pit road. You change the tires. You get back out on the racetrack. But according to the rule, because Josh Berry was involved in the accident, meaning because he took contact, that is damaged vehicle policy. And if you cannot drive your car back to the pits, you're out of the race. Ridiculous. All he had was 4 flat tires. I don't understand why NASCAR wants to keep cars off the racetrack. I mean, I get it. If you're 150 laps down and you blow an engine, or I don't know, if you're 100 laps down and you take out the leader who's in the playoffs at Martinsville, NASCAR doesn't want that. Maybe we do have Matt Kenseth to thank for this. But it took a car off the racetrack that obviously should not have been taken off the racetrack. I mean, if you watched the race, if you saw the spin, Berry's car, yeah, it took contact, but he shouldn't have been out of the race for it. I don't know what the reasoning for it is, and I'm hoping that they're going to look at it and change the policy going into next year. It's even NASCAR said that it didn't look right, it didn't feel right doing it, but they followed the rule. The first time NASCAR has ever followed a rule, huh? Man. Good job, NASCAR. So no driver clinches their way into round number 2 of the playoffs. Let's take a look at those playoff standings as they run. You have William Byron, who finished second in the race, 34 points to the good on the cut line. Ryan Blaney and Christopher Bell are both 28 points above the line. Kyle Larson, 18 above. Hamlin, 11. Alex Bowman, 8. Chase Elliott and Joey Logano, both 4 points to the good. Below that cut line and on the bubble, you have Tyler Reddick. He's had a rough few races. I did not expect this. Remember the run he went on at the end of the year to win the regular season championship, going to Darlington under the weather, and getting just enough points? He hasn't been running good recently, and neither has the 23. Besides the run that they had at Bristol, neither has Bubba. Maybe the 2311 cars are struggling a little bit. Daniel Suarez, 14 points below the cut line, and then it's Chase Briscoe, 25 below. And Austin Cindric, who is not in win territory, must-win territory just yet, but he is getting awfully close. We go to Talladega this weekend. It's going to be a hard decision for some people. I know. Do you watch Talladega or do you watch football? I'll be watching Talladega personally. I'm just going to let you know. Keep my eye on football, but I'll definitely going to be watching that race at Talladega. Playoff racing at Dega is the best. As we head to the final minute here, we don't have much time. Let's do a little bit of this day in sports history. 1999, on this day, the Edmonton Oilers retired the great ones, number 99, Wayne Gretzky, in a pregame ceremony before a 1-1 tie versus the New York Rangers, which was the last team that Gretzky played for. 2004, Ichiro Suzuki got his 258th hit of the season, breaking George Sisler's 84-year-old MLB single-season record. He ended the season with 262 hits. Last year, on this day, we were in awe of a one Brock Purdy as he set the 49ers single game completion percentage record, completed 95% of his passes. And I know it doesn't seem all that great because Jared Goff literally just didn't miss. Thanks everyone for tuning in today. I'll be back same time tomorrow. You guys have a good one. I'll see you then. Have a good night, everyone.
Serving you better than